Lee, the Super Bowl's this weekend. Who you got?
Well, I've been thinking a lot about it. I think the Seahawks really have what it takes. They have incredible defense. They have great long game. It's really going to be really hard for anyone to come close.
You're fired. I'm Mehta.
And I'm Ferran, and I'm not actually a Seahawks fan. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just don't care that much.
Well, there is something wrong with that, but that's
I just don't care that much about football. I'll watch. You'll see. Whatever.
Anyway, welcome to the breakout.
Welcome to the breakout.
Yeah. So, in addition to the Super Bowl, which is, to be honest, most of what I'm thinking about this week, there is a lot going on in the world of defense.
Especially up north, we got a new True Social post taking aim at Canadian jets.
Yeah. Now, late last week, President Trump put out the social post. It came in the wake of comments by Canada's Prime Minister Mark Carney that got a lot of attention at the Davos Forum. Apparently got attention at Pennsylvania Avenue because the president put out this statement saying, we're going to decertify Canadian-made jets.
Specifically from Bombardier, but also other Canadian-made jets. He also threatened 50% tariffs on jets. This is all connected to what he said was Canada slow-rolling the approval for some Gulfstream jets. Now, the thing, normally we wouldn't necessarily get into this. This seems like a kind of a commercial civil dispute thing, except Bombardier jets are used by the U.S. military.
Yeah, there's a number of different programs the U.S. military does that involve basically buying commercial Bombardier designs and then putting stuff on them.
Militarizing
them. Yes. A lot of ISR aircraft in the past. Currently, the program that's ongoing is the Army Hades program, which is a program that's one of several Greek-themed programs that are ongoing there, but is also an ISR program and has kind of an up and down situation in terms of how many jets are going to be bought.
Right. So these are based on, currently, the Bombardier has offered some prototypes, and I think the first production aircraft has been ordered or something like that. And RFI went out just last week stating that overall they hope to have as many as 14 jets. It's currently unclear how many the U.S. Army will actually end up with and whether they'll all be Bombardier. But we have to wonder whether this new threat is going to impact that program or other military programs.
Yeah, let's put aside the certification question because we simply don't know much about that. Although the White House, we did ask specifically, are military programs exempt from this?
Right, we asked the White House if there's a difference between civil and military. They didn't actually answer that question. They just said it wouldn't affect aircraft already in use. It could affect new aircraft.
Right, but even if that doesn't impact it, there could obviously be cost increases if the tariffs that President Trump has threatened go through. And that means a program like Hades, which has been a little up and down, again, in terms of what it's going to eventually look like, could have to be curtailed because the cost would simply become prohibitive.
Yeah, it's kind of a good reminder that especially now the U.S. military is trying to harness commercial industry as much as possible, and there's a lot of overlap between the commercial civil world and the military.
That's right. Okay, when we come back from the break, we're going to take a look at what's coming up in the next week because we are stretching across the globe.
About 8,000 miles we're stretched.
That's right. We're going from Saudi Arabia to San Diego.
At Leonardo DRS, our agility helps bring the ability to dominate in any scenario, on any platform, helping our warfighters accomplish the mission and get home safely. Leonardo DRS, our agility, your advantage.
We are back. Lee, it is still freezing here in
I'm going to get out of town.
You're a lucky man. Where are you going?
I'm going to go Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, because the World Defense Show is in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. It's the third iteration of this conference, the biggest air show out of Saudi Arabia, or defense show out of Saudi Arabia. We're excited to see more than 80 countries are supposed to be there, scores of companies, the Russians, the Chinese, the US, be curious, the Ukrainians are there. Everyone's going to be there.
It's going to be interesting. Obviously, an interesting time in the region. As we speak, the US is still moving assets into the region, potentially for a strike against Iran. We also, obviously, this comes on the heels of November's meeting with the Saudis in Washington, where President Trump pledged to get them the F-35.
And then just on Friday, the U.S. greenlit a potential foreign military sale to Saudi Arabia for $9 billion worth of Patriots and related systems. A lot going on in the region right now. It's going to be a very interesting place to be.
It is. So then we're going to go from the desert all the way to the Pacific Ocean, where the West Conference is going to be happening in San Diego. So that is a conference, it's a naval focus, involves both ships and the network IT aspect. It's kind of an interesting blend. We're going to have two reporters there as well. We're going to have Mark Pomerleau, who's our networks reporter covering that segment. And then making her debut, literally starting that very first day of West, is Diana Stancy, who's our new naval reporter.
Easy first day to have.
An easy first day. We're really throwing her on the deep end on that one.
That was good.
Yeah, that was good, right? Thanks. So if you see them, make sure to say ahoy. That is our house rule. It's obligatory.
Sure.
And make sure, especially with Diana, if you see her, go up, introduce yourself, say hi. We're very excited to have her joining the team. In the meantime, to make sure you get all of the news delivered directly to you, make sure you're going and subscribing to our newsletters. There's a newsletter for the breakout, in fact.
And you can also like and subscribe to these videos on YouTube. It helps us out there. And if you listen to podcasts, search for us on your favorite podcasting platform. You'll find us there.
I'm Aaron Mehta.
And I'm Lee Ferran.
Thanks for watching.